What is up, YouTube? My name is Alex. Welcome back to the Lifting Nomad. Today's video, I want to talk about, can you travel, can you drink alcohol, can you move around while still maintaining a good physique and staying in shape? Over the last 2 years, I've been to 16, 17 different countries, lived all over the world from Europe to South America to where I am right now, back home in good old the Great White North of Canada, and I've managed to stay relatively in shape throughout that whole time. And if this is your first time on my channel, you should know that balance is a huge part of my lifestyle, from enjoying nights out with my friends, enjoying a pint after work, and not really being limited to not enjoying the finer things in life. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Sorry, one sec, just enjoying some coffee. Cool, so I want to talk about a little bit further, can you actually enjoy alcohol and nights out and drinking while still maintaining a good physique? And of course I want to preface this by saying a lot of this is going to come down to your genetics and really, let's say, maybe your self-control. I'm someone who can definitely be spiraling a little bit if I go out for a drink with some friends after work. Sometimes that can end up being a really long night out till 3 a.m., eating bad food, drinking way too much alcohol, being hungover the next day. That affects my training. So for me, I have to be a little bit cognitive of the fact that if I want to go out and enjoy alcohol and enjoy drinking, that it is going to affect my training the next day. So typically my philosophy when this comes to this is understanding like what your goals are and how extreme you want to take these fitness journeys. The reality is people like, let's say, Chris Bumstead, who are going up for Mr. Olympia, they really just don't drink alcohol on a regular basis. I think like a really good example of someone who does live like an extremely well physique while also enjoying alcohol is someone like Rob Lipsett. I think he has an incredible physique, something that I would love to have myself, while still being someone who promotes like traveling and going out and seeing the world and doing cool things. So he's not obviously as extreme with his fitness nutrition. Don't get me wrong, he looks incredible. He's absolutely dialed in. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him where he's out of shape, but he also has been working out for a very long time and has an incredible genetic background to be able to keep that lean year round. So when you're coming to, approaching how much alcohol you can actually drink, can you go out, can you have a dinner with a pizza and a glass of wine, or do you want to go get absolutely shittered with your boys on a Saturday night? That's going to affect your training on the next day. Most people, I think, at this point are training anywhere from 3 to 6 days a week, depending on your program, how advanced you are, how dedicated you are, or really what your goals are in the gym. Are you bulking? Are you cutting? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to gain weight? Are you trying to get ripped? Or are you just trying to put on size? There's a lot of these variables that affect it. So I'm going to talk about really my experience being in this. And for reference, I would say, I'll show this video here of when I was probably my most lean. I'm 5'11", and this was me right around 155, and I think this was probably the leanest I've ever been. Because I was pretty heavy at one point in my life, around 220 pounds, I do still have quite a lot of visceral fat around my lower midsection where I just have loose skin. I can't get rid of it. I would have to do maybe surgery, but I don't really have too much, so I don't think it's worth it for me. But because of that, I can't really get a full 8-pack of abs because there's always just going to be a little bit of loose skin there covering it up, as you can see from the video I just showed you. So can you, short answer, can you drink alcohol and stay in shape? Absolutely. Can you stay absolutely peaked, dialed in, something like Chris Bumstead or Tristan Lee when he was at his peak of 5% body fat, let's say, stepping on stage to be absolutely juiced up while going through a prep and then drinking alcohol at the same time? Probably not. Maybe, if it's I remember listening to Ronnie Coleman when he was talking about winning his first Olympia. He said in that night before the show, he went up to a hotel room with one of his friends and he had a vodka with black coffee or something like that. And then he woke up on stage the next day and he won the Olympia. He just looked incredible. Maybe you can have one drink, let's say, but really if you're going into a prep, you can't really drink alcohol that much, if at all. So in this video here, you can see me drinking a Corona, for instance, but that was the first time I drank alcohol in almost 3 months. So the most lean I've been able to get in my life is when I pretty much just gave up cold turkey. I was not traveling that much. I was in the same gym, sleeping in the same bed, eating the same foods, and not drinking alcohol for 3 months to look like this in a very, very consistent and dedicated approach. But if you're like most people, probably you're not trying to win an Olympia. You're trying to just get in maybe a little bit better shape, feel a little better, get a little bit healthier while still enjoying the things you love. So the reality is having a balanced lifestyle is really what this YouTube channel is all about. And my philosophy is, of course, enjoy yourself. Life, in my mind, is meant to be lived. I'd rather look good on the beach and be able to have a couple beers with my friends on the beach versus look completely dialed in, but I can only drink once every 3 to 6 months. That's not my priority in life. I travel so much. I meet so many people. I love going out. I love going to new restaurants. I love trying cocktails. I love drinking wine. It's just a part of who I've grown up to be, and I've kind of accepted the fact that I will never be a physique competitor while also doing those things. But I'm content with the fact that I look better than, let's say, 90% of people on the beach, but maybe I'm not as ripped up as someone who's potentially on PEDs or potentially just a little bit more dedicated to the lifestyle. I think Instagram, especially these days, has kind of brainwashed the young generation into thinking this is like normal. There's so many fake natties out there these days who are just like completely shredded up year round, like David Lade, that kind of era sort of started this trend of people getting on gear at really young ages and setting like completely unrealistic standards for the next generation of fitness. And, not to knock their dedication at all, I just think it kind of sets a precedent of this is what's normal, this is what's expected if you've been going to the gym for 6 months to a year. And the reality is, as a natural lifter, especially if you are, like I'm saying, going out maybe once a week, once every other week, whatever that may be, you probably are never going to get those results no matter how long you work out until you're on PEDs and until you're just not drinking alcohol. So I think, to preface all of that, like I was saying, really setting the expectation of what you're looking to accomplish. If your goal is to get an IFBB Pro card or just be maybe a natural bodybuilder, let's say, you probably are going to have to make the sacrifice of not going out to bars, not going out to clubs with friends, and that could be totally fine. If that doesn't interest you at all, then maybe you're on the wrong video here. But I think for myself, being someone in their 20s and has grown up in this generation of like younger millennials, let's say, it's always been an important part of my life to be able to socialize, go out, go on dates, go drink a bottle of wine in the park. So I kind of prioritize maybe 5 or 6 days a week. I'm in the gym. I'm doing cardio usually 3 to 6 times a week. I'm making sure I'm mostly in a deficit right now. We're in the month of August, so I am in a deficit for the summer, trying to lean out a little bit before I head to Croatia in a few weeks. But for the most part, I'm not as, completely strict, let's say, on my diet as some people are, and that's kind of something that I've prioritized. So I think this all kind of goes back to what your end goal is, what your dream physique is, and how you want to get there and how long you want to take to get there. If your goal is, let's say you're overweight and you want to get just absolutely shredded, you're probably going to have to go a year or so, depending on where your starting point is, and completely diet, cut out alcohol, cut out all of those bad habits, and just really go internal for a year. And that kind of comes back to like things like monk mode or going off grid and really focusing on yourself, that can do incredible things for your mental health, for your emotional health, for your spiritual health, for your physical health. But I think really a balanced approach to life is the best way. And in my experience, meeting people who are in incredible shape, they're definitely, if you're dieting that much, typically your testosterone levels start to go down, your mental health starts to get fatigued, you're maybe groggy, you're tired. By the time you're getting on stage, you kind of hate your life. You look incredible, don't get me wrong, but it's like, at what cost? So for me, I'd really take the approach of, let's say 3 to 5 years, I want to look in like my dream physique. How do I get there? Maybe in the winters, I spend like 8 months or so in a surplus where I'm trying to be higher volume weightlifting. I'm trying to do progressive overload and gain some size. And then for those 4 months of the year in the summer, I get into more of a strict deficit. I'm doing more cardio. I'm being a little bit tighter with my diet. That way I'm able to consistently year over year gain a little bit of muscle mass while still staying in relatively good shape. Now, what comes into this and makes it even harder is adding travel into that lifestyle. Now you're not even in a gym that you're not in a kitchen you're not having the same sleep quality you usually would, and now you're expected to maintain that same level of leanness even though you're potentially across the world in a foreign place. It just makes it a lot more challenging to do so, and at the same time, I think it makes it a lot more impressive when you're able to maintain it. I get asked all the time on trips when I'm like on a beach in a foreign country and I've been traveling for 6 months, let's say, how are you still able to maintain a decent shape? And it really comes down to keeping your diet as dialed in as you can while not just enjoying the travel life too much. If you take a year off sabbatical, I guarantee you, if you had six-pack when you left, it's going to be tough to maintain that throughout. And you see this in a lot of travel influencers as well. They're not typically like extremely ripped up people because you really need to have a consistent routine to maintain that year over year. Keeping your diet dialed in for long term just takes a long time to do it. So with that in mind, I think it's important for you to have a realistic expectation of how long your journey is going to be, what your goal is at the end, how far you want to push it, how lean you want to get your body, what's your ideal physique, and pick that out and understand that it's going to take a long time to get there. So, moral of the story in this video, can you drink alcohol? Yes, absolutely, but definitely take it in moderation. I think for me, it's been a struggle to not just go out and get binged once a weekend or twice a weekend and also try and maintain my abs year round. It's just extremely difficult. When I'm hungover, I can't train well, I'm like nauseous, and potentially my diet's gone off the rails because maybe when I was drunk, I went to McDonald's, got a couple Big Macs with the boys. It's just a lot. It's a lot to try and navigate that while also staying dedicated to your fitness. So if you are someone who has that self-control and maybe your hangovers aren't as bad, you're able to go out, have a few drinks, and still get a good night's sleep, have a good workout in the morning, good for you. I think I can't do it. It's just really, really hard. So for me, I take the approach of I'm not going to drink 5 nights a week. I'm really just focused on my training and my diet, and then maybe on the weekends I'll cheat a little bit. But because I've been in a deficit and been really strict, that still kind of falls into that 80-20 rule of my 80% of the meals have been good throughout the week, and then my 20% on the weekends maybe are a little bit more fun size, let's say. So I hope this video was useful. If it was, feel free to leave a like or a comment in the section below. Always helps the algorithm. But I think that's going to be it for my perspective on, are you able to drink alcohol? Can you travel? Can you do things while still maintaining an awesome physique? I think so. Really just comes down to what you're capable of mentally, what your body's going to be capable of physically as well. So thank you for watching this video. My name is Alex. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.